Hi there, and welcome to my Moving Through the Loss of Your Canine Companion series that I'm doing. This is the first installment. This book is available on my website and through Amazon, if you can see it. The reason I wrote this book is because of this boy on the front here, Luke. After suffering his loss, I dealt with so much grief and pain that I felt compelled to write this book. So I want to discuss each chapter, and today's one is the first installment, so it's about when to say goodbye. And I have been, as a dog trainer, I have been asked many, many times, Sherry, is this the right time? Is this the time? Is it a month from now? Was it a month ago? Nobody can tell you when the right time is, and the reason for that is that it's such an emotional decision. Now, your veterinarian will give you advice. When we lost Luke, I asked her what would she do, because she couldn't tell me when the exact time is to do it, but she could tell me that it needed to be done soon. He had a mass on his liver that had ruptured, and he was going to bleed to death. So I wanted to do the right thing for Luke. And she said, take him home. She gave me medication to slow the bleeding down, which worked amazing, by the way. And she said, take him home, feed him his best food, let him sleep on his most comfortable bed, and then you will have to do it soon. So we actually did it the following day because I didn't want it to be an emergency situation. I didn't want him to be struggling with the medication that he was given. It slowed the bleeding down so much that he was able to go outside and take a pee and eat, and he had his favorite potato chips and some cold meat, and so he enjoyed his last day. Had it been that he was going to be suffering, I would not have had him live another day and enjoy our companionship. I would have done it at the vet, which is something that I didn't want to do. I wanted to do it at home. There are times when you have to do it at the veterinarian's office. We had to do it at the veterinarian's office for Jessie and for Tilly and for my other dogs. But when you are faced with the when, all you can do is take the information from the veterinarian, talk to the rest of your family members, maybe some friends, people who have gone through it, and try to come up with the best decision for you, the person who has to make the decision, because the decision you make is something that you have to live with for the rest of your life. And I can't tell you how many people who have gone ahead and, humanely euthanized their dog and then regretted it later, which is horrible to do to yourself. So you need to feel very comfortable that you have done the best thing that you can do for your dog. And so you need to come to that decision with being informed, with the information that the vet gives you, taking everyone's feelings into account, but still doing the best thing for your dog. And this is where we need to take ourselves out of the picture in two ways. Keeping our dogs around for us is a very selfish thing that we humans tend to do. So we need to remove ourselves from that. What the decision needs to be based on what is best for our dogs. There are a time when they're going to get sick and old, and we know that we can step up to the plate and take care of them the best that we can. But there comes a time when you need to say, okay, are they still eating? That's a biggie. There are times when dogs stop eating, and you can nurse them through that and they'll get better. But there's a difference between stopped eating at the end of the life and stopped eating because they don't feel well. Are they able to move about? Can they get up and go outside and go to the bathroom? Are they in pain? Is the pain manageable? At the end of a dog's life, quality is so important. Dogs are different than humans. I mean, we can actually give our dogs the gift of humane euthanizing that we can't give our own human family. when they're in pain and suffering and at the end of their life. So you need to take yourself out of the picture and go through a day in your dog's life. Put yourself in your dog's paws and go through a day as them. Are they eating? Are they happy? Are there moments of quality life? Can they sleep? Pain is the biggest thing. If your dog is in severe pain, that no one wants that for their dog. So by taking yourself out of the situation and going through a day in your dog's life, in their paws, and walking through their life, you can come to a really clear decision on, no, this sucks. I don't want this for my dog. Or, yes, they are still happy. They can still go outside. They're still happy to run into the kitchen at night and have their meal. Yes, they are old and they are sore and they maybe are incontinent. But those are things that you can care for and are not taking enough away out of the quality of life to say that this is the time. So by taking yourself out of the picture, I'm hoping that we can say, I'm not keeping my dog around here just for me. I'm not going to have my dog suffer because I cannot bear losing them. I mean, of course, no one can bear losing their dog. And some of us, it's even worse. It's a heart dog, it's that one once in a lifetime dog, maybe 3 in a lifetime dogs. But making that decision is really cleared up when you walk through their life and don't just look at how you look at their life. I'll take care of them. I'll do everything. There comes a point when we can't make their life any better. So making that decision is made really clear by going, okay, I'm going to look at what they go through as them, not as me looking at them. The other time that we have to deal with losing our dogs and when to say goodbye is when they've got a serious illness, they've had an accident, something catastrophic has happened and you need to make a decision really quickly. There's so many different scenarios when you have to decide when to say goodbye, and there are times when there is no decision. It's just time. We had to do that for Jessie and Tilly. For Luke, we were given the gift of another day because the vet gave us a medication to slow his bleeding down. So we were able to bring him home, pamper him for the day, enjoy the last minutes with him, and then say goodbye in his home with a vet that came to the house. With Tilly, she had a tumor on her spleen, which had ruptured. Luke also had a tumor on his spleen, but the vet was able to slow it down. Not on his spleen, I'm sorry, on his liver. He had a tumor on his liver. Tilly's one on her spleen had ruptured really badly, and she was passing out. She was going to bleed to death very quickly, and she was also 15 and a half, which is an amazing age for a standard poodle. But we took her to the emergency because it happened really fast. We didn't know it was there ever. And he gave us the option. He said, you can bring her home, but she's going to bleed to death. And so we opted just to do it then. We said our goodbyes very peacefully. The vet was wonderful. And so we made that decision quickly. There are other times when you're dealing with a very young dog who's had an injury or an illness, and there's a lot to think about. Are you going to be able to have that dog recover enough to have a quality of life? And even a young dog, I mean, you give them more benefit of the doubt as far as quality because they're only young and they haven't had a nice long life. But that decision still needs to be made about the quality of life that they're going to have after they recover, if they can recover. So hopefully I've helped you a little bit with the decision making on when to say goodbye. It's never a good decision for anyone. Nobody ever wants to do it. But sadly, those of us, those of us who love dogs are going to have to make those decisions over and over again. But by taking ourselves out of the picture and looking at their life, what they go through, it helps to make the decision making much clearer, giving us a feeling of we are doing the best we can for our dog. And that's all we can do as canine guardians. We can give them the last act of caring and love that we can give them is to humanely euthanize them when they need us to. Perfect timing. So if you are having to deal with that right now, or will be doing it in the future, I hope that clears it up. If you would like to read my book, it's good for anyone, because all of us dog lovers are going to have to go through it at some time. It is available on my website at justdogswithsherry.com, or it is available on Amazon as well. And it is Moving Through the Loss of Your Canine Companion. From the decision making all the way through the muck and out through the other side. So hopefully I've helped you, and I will see you next time.